Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 7th of March 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then guys, well, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here is Nasdaq. Looking at Nasdaq yesterday, of course, the index managed to close in the red. Certainly this is what we're going to be keeping a close eye on. Now I was talking about this one yesterday. I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this little range that the index is currently stuck in. So basically it's going to be very interesting to watch where exactly this is going to go. Looking at the cash index right now, it's currently sitting around the 7,100 level. So of course that's the level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, because if we see a further move lower below this 7,100 level, which is also the lower side of this little range that the index is kind of currently stuck in, this is where it could become a little bit more exciting for the bears. Could see this one traveling further down, initially maybe testing this 50 EMA, which is around the 7,000 level, so the psychological 7,000. But if the selling remains, then yep, further declines are possible. And looking at this 4-hour chart, in a way, there would be a good possibility to see the index traveling towards its 200 EMA. So that's why, guys, for now, be very cautious. Like I said, the index is currently balancing around the cash index is currently balancing around the 7,100 level. Let's see how this is going to open up. Probably we're going to open up a little bit lower, yep. For now guys, let's see how this is going to play out. And certainly in terms of the upside, well, in order to get comfortable with higher levels, we would like to see a nice good push above the 7,200 level, and only then we will target higher areas. So for now, guys, be very cautious, be very careful, and let's keep a close eye on the 7,100 level, because if it continues to move lower, then the next target that we're going to be keeping a close eye on is of course the psychological 7,000. So let's see how this plays out. Jumping into silver, similarly as with gold, so basically it's currently testing its key area of support near the psychological 15 level, but to be honest, slightly below that we do have this little area of potential support at around 14.90 level. You can see that how well that played out last time in November and October time. So basically the highest points of November and October. And that's why, and that's why we're going to be looking at the we're going to be looking at these levels here, and a drop below the 15 could potentially lead towards the 14.90 zone or even lower. So that's why, guys, for now, let's play it short and simple. Let's see what it wants to do with this 15 zone. And if it does want to continue traveling lower, this is the main obstacle that it would need to overcome in order to kind of consider further declines in the near term. So this is of course when we will aim for areas like the 14.80 or even lower. So for now, long story short, basically, guys, 15 level, that's the one that we're keeping a close eye on today. If this continues to hold, and if we see a reversal back to the upside, now in order to kind of, let's say, at least look at some higher areas, we would like to see a nice good move above these highs here around the 15.15 level. And if we do see a nice move here, then from the short-term perspective, of course, we could see this one traveling a little bit higher. 15.25 is going to be the next one, but slightly above that, we do have some We do have the 50 EMA here, so basically this is where the commodity could go and could test, and but again I'll repeat myself, in order to kind of consider these higher areas, we would like to see a nice good push above the 15.15 level, and only then we'll aim for a little bit of higher levels. But for now it seems to be more bearish than bullish. Jumping into EURJPY now, of course the euro is getting hit today. Mario Draghi is still talking, and well, the weakness that came in here from the eurozone, of course, the dovish remarks from the ECB and around the TLTROs. You can see that this is what's happening right now. You can see that the EURJPY is selling off nicely. So this morning I was talking about this pair, and basically just telling you guys to keep a close eye on this upside support line, and of course keep a close eye on this level right here at around 125.95 level. So it got broken. Now the main question is where exactly this is going to close today, because currently the pair is sitting near its 200 EMA on, shown as the black line here on the 4-hour chart, which is also around the 125.75 level. So this is where it's very interesting to watch where exactly this is going to end up being, because if this decides to continue traveling lower, the next potential area of support could be seen around the 125.27 25 area, something like that. So that's why, guys, for now keep your eyes on this one. For now this is looking quite bearish, but in just in case, let's say if this reverses back up here and decides, for example, to close the day above the 125.95 level, or even actually you can round it up towards the 126 zone, if it does close above the 126 level, well, this is where it could become a little bit tricky for the bears. Certainly we will remain still below this downside resistance line and below this upside support line. So that's why, guys, for now, if you would like to consider higher levels, probably we would like to see this one traveling back above this upside support line. And to be honest, for better confirmation, in order to kind of be safe, a nice good push above the 126.50 level could be that area, which could open the path towards higher areas again. So, but for now, this is what's happening. There's some weakness around the euro, and let's see where this day is going to end. But to be honest, this is not really looking good for the euro. But from today's perspective, looking at this chart here on the EURJPY, you can see that we're already testing the S3, so we might maybe see a bit of a retracement here, and like I said, the 126 and 125.95 level, this is going to be where we're going to be watching today. So yep, let's see how this plays out further. Euro dollar. Now again, I was talking about this one this morning. I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on the 1.1290 level. So we managed to break it nicely to the downside, and this is the level that we've managed to test, and testing currently the 1.1250. So perfect touch, perfect hit. This is where the pair is currently stuck at. Let's see where exactly it's going to end, because if this is going to continue pushing further down, certainly it could potentially confirm a forthcoming lower low, and well, to be honest, the path could be here set up for a move towards the 112.15 zone. And just to remind you what that level was, that was the lowest point of November last year. So could be a nice good potential touch here, but again, we need to see a further decline here below the further drop below the 112.50, and only then, like I said, we will target these areas here, the 112.15. If this, of course, decides to reverse back up and travels back above the 112.75, first warning sign for the bears. But if this gets back above the 112.90 level, now this is where probably it will show that the pair is not willing to kind of sell off yet, and we could see a push. We could see a push back up here towards the 113, of course, initially, but then the 113.25 or the 113.50, these could be those levels to watch, but only if we see a move back above the 112.90, guys. So keep your eyes on that one, and of course for now keep your eyes on the 112.50. Let's see where this pair goes, but for now it seems to be more bearish than bullish. Jumping into last pair for this session, that's going to be USDCAD. Now looking at this pair, so retracing nicely from its highs at around 134.45. It's now currently testing the pivot, which is around the 134.15. The big question here is, are we going to see this one traveling a little bit lower or not? Now what you could do here is, of course, you could try to find the level where it could travel lower. So in a way, if this decides to drop below the pivot, below today's pivot, well, in a way you could draw yourself a Fibonacci extension, or sorry, Fibonacci retracement here, and potentially see where the next potential area of support could be. So around the 133.80, this is the first 23.6 level. So it could be a nice touch here, not far from there, just slightly below here. We do have the 133.70 mark, which is marked near the highs of the 24th of January. This could be a nice potential area for a test, but then again, like I said, we need to see a good firm break below the pivot, below today's pivot, and like I said, then we will target this area right here at around 23.6% on the Fibonacci retracement, or even actually, like I said, the 133.70 level. This could be a nice potential touch as well here. So for now, be very cautious. In terms of the upside, well, as you probably understand, we're going to play it safe here and wait until, let's say, this reverses back to the upside and starts breaking the recent highs here near the 134.45. This way, if we see a break above that, this could confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target higher areas. And by higher areas, first good potential area of resistance could be seen around here, around the 134.95 level, marked near the highs here of the 3rd of January, sorry, or should I say the intraday swing high of the 3rd of January. But if that fails to withhold, then yep, further acceleration to the upside is possible as well. We do have a very good potential area of resistance here, which previously acted as a nice area of support, and that's around the 135.65 level. But then again, in order to kind of consider all these levels that I've just mentioned, we need to see a good push above the recent highs at 1.3445 level, and only then we will target higher areas. For now, from the very short-term perspective, it seems that it would like to travel further down, but again, we need to see a firm break here below the pivot, and then, like I said, we'll target the 133.80 or the 133.70 zone initially. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Trader's Espresso, and that's 7 o'clock GMT time, but for now I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.